Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, it's Wednesday, it's hump day, we've made it through half the work week. Hope you guys are checking out some good horror flicks. I hope you checked out some of the films that I've recommended here on the channel. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? I wouldn't steer you wrong. But for those of you who might need a recommendation, what do I need to check out next? Got a really special one for you today. I have probably what is my favorite film of all time. Depending on what day you might ask me on. It's either this one or the original Dawn of the Dead. Today it's going to be my favorite film, though. It is none other than the 1982 John Carpenter classic, The Thing. This film is sort of a semi-remake of a 1957 sci-fi film called The Thing from Another World, and both of these films are based on a 1938 novel by John Campbell Jr. called Who Goes There? Actually, this film sticks far closer to the source material than the 1957 film. There are many creatures in this film as opposed to just one in the original film, and yeah, it's closer to the source material, as I said before. This movie didn't do very well when it came out, but over the last few decades has really garnered a huge following, and it is I can't praise it enough. It is the basic premise of the story, without giving too much away, is there is a research team that is stationed in Antarctica at a place called U.S. Outpost 31, and they discover an alien life form that has been buried in the ice for over 100,000 years. And this life form, they come to find out, it can mimic other life forms, human beings, and that is a large part of the intrigue of this film, is wondering, is that guy one of these things? Is that guy one of these things? You don't know, and that's part of the fun of this movie, is finding out who is one of these creatures. I mean, because it can copy human beings exactly, their appearance, their voice, even their mannerisms, and you just don't know until it's too late, unfortunately, for some of the characters in the film. It has an ensemble cast that is spearheaded by Kurt Russell, Peter David, and Wilford Brimley, and it has a ensemble cast, and it is an unusual film in that there are no female characters in this film. There are no females at all, and man, you can almost feel the cold from this film as you're watching it. The atmosphere and the freezing temperatures just almost bleed out of the TV screen, and you just want to cuddle up under an electric blanket or around a fire or something when you're watching this movie. Um, it is also really famous for being a special effects extravaganza. Really, the special effects was directed by a man named Rob Bottin, who is a legendary special effects designer and makeup artist, and that's really what this film has become known for, is the special effects. Although a lot of the other great aspects of this film kind of get overshadowed by the special effects. This movie, as I said, came out in 1982. Special effects back in those days, CGI didn't exist. Films today and in recent decades are everything is done on a computer. It's done in post production after the films have already be, they're already done shooting, and the special effects is added in later. Movies back in those days, everything had to be done in front of a camera, and there's a real artistry, as you'll find out when watching some of the documentaries on here. There's a real artistry in seeing how things were done in person in front of a camera. You couldn't fix it on a computer. You couldn't go back and just redo a mistake. Everything had to be done live, or you had to do it all over again. And Rob Bottin is also famous for another great horror film that has become known for its special effects, and that's The Howling. some of the greatest werewolf transformations ever done on screen were done in that film. So Rob Bottin is really a legendary figure in the world of special effects. And this movie will really show you what special effects, practical special effects, were capable of when they were done at the highest level. Sometimes you watch an old film and the special effects were decent. Sometimes they're very poor, depending on who's doing it and the budget that they were given. But man, The Thing. I mean, Bottin and his guys. I mean, they didn't knock it out of the park. They knocked it off the planet with this movie. Great special effects. Has a great cast. Has a great setting, and some really interesting creature designs, and not your typical aliens and monsters in this film. Every creature in this is very unique and really strange to look at. You're watching it, you're going, man, what is that? You're really not sure of what you're seeing a lot of the times. There's a mouth where something there might be a mouth and teeth where what's a mouth and teeth doing there? Well, it's an alien and it can mimic other life forms, and then it's just it's really out there in the creature designs. I have the Scream Factory Steelbook release of the movie. This film has been released several times by several different companies over the years. I believe sometime after this one came out, Arrow Video put out a really nice release. I've never owned that one. I can't really attest to how much better or compare it to this one, but Scream Factory did release the movie, this same release without the Steelbook, in just a standard Blu-ray collector's edition. I do believe that collector's edition does contain everything that is included in this. It just doesn't have the Steelbook. So, show you what you get when you do get the Steelbook. You get a beautiful original artwork there. This artwork was done just for this release. That's the front. And here's the back. And we open this up. We'll set this aside for now. It is a 3-disc set. That's disc 1. And you get disc 2 and 3 there. And this was actually attached to the back with a little bit of glue. I just took it off and I kept it because this is all of the specs of what you get. And as you can see, this release is absolutely loaded with content. Tons and tons. I mean, hours upon hours of content. So I'll just try to go down it really quickly here. Disc 1 is the feature film. It is a 2017 4K scan of the film. Disc 2 is you get a 2K scan of the intrapositive approved by the director of photography, Dean Cundy, and you get several special features. You get 3 audio commentaries, including one by the director John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. You get teaser trailers and theatrical trailers, both national and international. You get TV spots, radio spots, still galleries, and storyboards, production artwork, posters, and lobby cards. That's just Disc 2. Disc 3 is nothing but special features, and there's so many they're actually not all even listed on here. But we get Requiem for a Shapeshifter, which was done with horror director Mick Garris, interviews John Carpenter. We get The Men of Outpost 31, which is a full-length feature documentary of the film done, I think in 2018 or 2017 or 2018. It's a fairly new documentary covering everything about the film. They interview every cast member. We also get a John Carpenter's The Thing, Terror Takes Shape, which is another making of documentary. We get special effects makeup designer Rob Bottin interviews. We get the making of The Thing from 1982, which is a vintage making of the documentary that was done back in 1982. We get outtakes, network TV broadcast version of the film, vintage featurettes from the electronic press kit, vintage featurette The Making of a Chilling Tale, vintage production reel, which contains a condensed version of the film with alternate footage, behind the scenes footage, annotated production archive, production art and storyboards, location scouting, another interview with Rob Bottin, post-production, and more. I mean, like I said, everything's not even listed on here. There is so much content just on disc 3 that it's insane. Everything you ever wanted to know about the film. And that is the Scream Factory release of the film. Out of everything that I have shown on my channel so far, other than Night of the Living Dead, this film is the one I would recommend the most. I cannot praise this movie enough. It has a great cast, great setting, unbelievable special effects, tons of atmosphere. I really can't find anything bad to say about this film. Please check it out. Somehow, some way, check out The Thing from 1982. Well, that's my review of the movie and of this particular release. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button for me. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Let me know if there's anything that you might want to see me talk about in any upcoming videos, and I'll try to get you taken care of. And I hope you guys have a good one. Again, check out The Thing, and check out my other videos here on the channel. And I'll talk to you guys later. See you in the next one.